Welcome back. The Pooch playoffs are underway to benefit the Quincy Animal Shelter. You've heard of March Madness, right? This is, I guess, Mutt Madness, photography competition to benefit the shelter. And Quincy photographer Wendy Adams is spearheading it. She's here to tell us all about it. Nice to meet you, Wendy.
Nice to meet you, too.
Yeah, thanks for coming over. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You are very welcome. A lifelong Quincy resident.
Yes.
Right? And a photographer right here in Quincy.
Yes.
So tell me the Wendy Adams story before we talk about the shelter and the fundraiser.
I grew up in Quincy.
Yeah.
My parents moved to the house I live in now when I was 2.
Wow.
I've pretty much lived there ever since,
Yep.
with just a little exception. I went to college in Boston, the Art Institute of Boston for photography. I have my bachelor's in photography and commuted back and forth to Quincy every day.
Sure.
Absolutely loved it. Went to all Quincy public schools.
Okay.
Raised my kids here too.
Yeah.
I love Quincy.
Wow. So I have to ask, with the last name like Adams, is there any connection?
No. No, we were told when we were kids that there was a connection to Samuel Adams.
Yeah.
And I did my DNA, nothing turned up.
Okay.
And I found out from my huge amount of cousins, one of them said no.
Oh.
That was wishful thinking.
Okay.
So no, there's no relation.
Interesting. But you can play off that in the city.
Yes, yes, it comes in handy.
Yeah. So how did you get connected with the animal shelter?
I've always been an animal lover my whole life.
Yeah.
And we actually adopted a cat from them in 2011. I had donations that my kids and I were bringing to the shelter, and I gave them this big speech in the car, don't fall in love with anyone, we're not taking, and it was me.
You failed.
Yeah,
you
I failed.
failed your own test.
Yeah, and we brought home a cat named
Yeah.
Autumn.
Okay.
And my aunt has been a volunteer there for, I think she says 12 years.
Wow.
And I've always loved the shelter, so I always promote them and stuff, and
Yes.
donate and stuff like that.
Yeah. So this is something new, though, right? This Pooch playoffs.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's new and it's super exciting. This is
Yeah.
my first year doing it. I joined a business group last year, and they do it every year, and they've been doing it this is their 4th year.
Okay.
But it's my first year, so I'm learning as I go.
Yeah.
But it's been a wonderful experience.
Okay. So how does it all work, Wendy? This bracket-style competition for dogs, right?
So we've got 16 dogs,
Okay.
and we have all our dogs in place. I do a photo session with each one. And then what we do is the owners choose the image that will be in the contest,
Okay.
which has not been easy for them,
I
but
bet.
they've done it. And what we're going to do is, in mid-ish March, I'm believing March 22nd, we will have the first round of voting. And it's going to be just like March Madness, where we'll have 16 dogs, and there'll be 2 pitted against each other. And on day 1, you'll have to vote for all. You'll have to go down the line and vote for 1 out of each sections of 2,
Yep.
if that makes sense.
Yep.
And then the winners all go on to the next round, where there'll be 8, and then there'll be 4, and then 2, and then 1.
Okay. How did you find the 16 dogs to photograph? How did that
A
work?
lot of promotion.
Yeah.
The animal shelter was wonderful about promoting. We actually have quite a few of the shelter volunteers enrolled with their dogs.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's just all promotion and word of mouth and stuff like that.
Okay, and you did the shoots right at the shelter, is that right?
Yeah, the shelter in their new space. They have a great space. We're actually using their break room, so we're just cleaning everything out. And it's perfect because you can't hear the shelter animals, so our dogs can come in and go out, and they won't get stressed out by hearing lots of barking.
Okay, all right. And you brought an example of what a photo might look like, right?
Yeah, this is.
So who is this?
This is actually one of my dogs. I
Okay.
have 3. This is Daisy. She loves to wear things, so I had to put like a daisy on her head.
Now this is not Photoshopped, right? You actually
No, this is actually
Okay.
her wearing it. That's why she's got that look on her face.
like get this thing off of me.
Why are you doing this to
Yeah,
me?
okay.
But yeah, so this is just a sample. She's not in the contest.
Okay. Well, you can't compete because obviously
at her.
conflict, right?
Yeah.
And she'd win. Our hands
Look at her.
down, right?
I know.
Paws down for sure.
Yeah, we have so many cute animals
Yeah.
though.
So now, do the people who participate get a copy of the photos? Or how
They
does that
have
work?
the opportunity to purchase
Oh, okay.
products. I sell products. I'm kind of like, I describe myself as an old-fashioned photographer. I
Yeah.
believe in artwork on the walls.
Ah.
So they have the opportunity to purchase all kinds of products, and that's one of the samples.
Fun. Okay.
Yeah.
So how does this benefit the shelter, Wendy? And how
The
does that work?
shelter is getting all of the sitting fee, or the session fees, which
Okay.
are $150 per participant.
Oh, okay.
And I'm also hoping that throughout the contest, especially when the voting comes, that
Yep.
people will just donate some money to
Sure.
the shelter, because
Yeah.
they're always free to do that.
Okay. I was going to say, even if they're not participating in
Yeah.
this, they can still.
I've actually had a few
donate.
people already that have done that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
it's
super.
been wonderful.
So, but this is not just Quincy-based, right? This is going to go national.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to go national. So my business group is all over the U.S.,
Yeah.
Canada. There's even one in Australia, but I don't
wow.
believe she's not participating. So our winners will all compete against each other.
Wow.
So there's a second chance to win. And I'm hoping that people that come and vote will come back and vote for the second round, because the winner will get 2 Yeti bowls, which I guess are super frou-frou. But they will also get a good donation to the charity of their choice.
Okay.
So if we win, then the Quincy Animal Shelter will get some more cash.
On
which
top
would be
of
great, on
what-
top of
what
everything
they're
else.
already getting from your fundraiser.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's super. Has the shelter talked about what they would use the funds for?
No,
Okay.
I haven't asked them, because I know there's always such great need,
Yeah.
and there's always so many places that they could use the money.
It's 100% volunteer run.
Yeah.
There's one paid position, and it's a nominal, compensation.
They're
Just-
amazing.
Yeah.
They do amazing work.
They do great things.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to get into their new location, maybe
Yeah.
one day up on Quarry Street. But right now, the West Quantum Street location is
Yeah.
miles above where they
It
were.
really is.
Yeah.
It's a nice space. I think they're pretty happy there for the time being.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to see the new one.
So can they?
Yeah, I know.
So when does the national competition happen?
That's going to be at the beginning of April. So
Okay.
our competition will round out at the very end of March. We'll have our winner by the end of March, and I will send our winner to the new. I've been told April 2nd,
Okay.
and it will be a one-off vote. So it will just be one day of voting, winner takes all.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to pay to vote?
No, you
No,
do not have to
okay.
pay to vote. You'll go to my website when the voting time comes,
Okay.
and then you'll click on a link, and you will have to put in your name and your phone and your email address.
Okay.
And from what I told, I'm the only one that sees it.
Oh, all right.
So it's not like it goes on some spam list.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
And it's free.
And it's free. So there you go.
And actually, you can vote once per day. So every voting session is 2 days. So you could vote twice, technically.
Can you vote for your own pooch? Of
Absolutely.
course.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you can access it right through the Animal Shelter's website as well. So good for you for doing this, but how did you get the idea? How did they first come
I
about?
got it from the business group, so
Oh,
I
all right.
can't take credit for it. Someone else had thought of it, and they've been doing it for 4 years, so they've kind of got it down to a science at this point, and I just jumped in
Yeah.
and said, I want to do this.
Well, I mean, as you know, folks love to have their pets photographed. The shelter does a calendar every year,
Yes.
which is hugely successful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And our pets are family members.
Right.
They really are, so they deserve to have portraits taken of them.
What does the local winner win? Here in Quincy.
I have 3 prizes.
Okay.
And I'm still working out
all right.
which ones are going to be which. I have a basket that was donated by Polka Dog that's all filled with treats.
Great.
I have another basket that was donated from another local business that has coffee and wine and some dog treats in it too. It's called Beans Are to Coffee as Grapes Are to Wine is the name of her business.
Huh, okay.
And then the third basket we're still putting together.
Okay.
And then I'm going to determine which one will go to which.
All right. Okay. Very good. Speaking of sponsors, you've had some folks really step up to help you with this.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes, I've been very lucky. We had Quirk Cars that were wonderful. They were a great sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Leader of the Pack, which is a training facility in Quincy on West Elm Ave.
Oh.
They were sponsors. Superlative Printing provided all our print work, which was wonderful. And what's the last?
And the VCA.
VCA, how
Yeah.
could I forget? VCA Animal Hospital in Weymouth. They donated these amazing backpacks. Every contestant gets a swag bag.
Oh.
They donated these amazing backpacks that had all this cool stuff in it, and there were other things too donated by other businesses.
Sure, yeah. So do you think that this fundraiser will inspire folks to get more involved with the shelter?
I hope so.
Yeah.
They're always looking for volunteers, and we were able to photograph a couple of the shelter dogs as well
Yes.
the last session, and I'm hoping to do a few more in the last session this coming Sunday, and to highlight them too, so maybe people will see them and get them adopted.
I was going to ask about that, because some of the local TV stations have like their featured shelter of the week where
Yeah.
they bring in, select pets and try and
Yeah.
find them forever homes.
Yeah,
right?
they've got some great dogs.
Or at least foster homes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and lots of wonderful cats too. We're not doing cats, but I did photograph a cat just to highlight.
That'll be next year.
Yeah.
Will you do this again? This is your
I
first
am
time?
absolutely doing this again next year. I've already decided I'm having the time of my life.
Really?
I've met some wonderful people and amazing dogs. I'm just a huge dog lover,
Yeah.
so it's been a lot of fun.
Will it inspire you maybe to volunteer your time?
I would love to volunteer. I just need to carve out some free time.
Sure.
That's the tough part.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
But it's definitely in my future.
All right. So, this probably has brought some exposure for you as well, to
Yeah.
let folks know.
Oh, yeah,
I'm a lifelong
definitely.
Quincy resident, right?
Yeah, get the word out.
Yeah. How has, you say you're an old school photographer, so what's new school?
Well, I guess it depends on how you look at old school versus new school. I mean, I've been doing this for so long. I started with film, darkroom, developing, doing all your own, and then obviously had to transfer to digital.
Certainly, yeah.
I always tell people it took me an embarrassingly long time to switch to digital, but I probably would not go back. I know film has had a resurgence,
Yeah.
but I would take my laptop working over the smelly darkroom chemicals
Sure.
any day.
Yeah.
And you can do a lot more on the computer.
Sure. Color or black and white?
It depends.
Ah,
I
okay.
love black and white, but I'm a bit of a snob, so I would rather do black and white when I can print it myself, which really isn't feasible for me right now. But I love both. It really depends on the image.
Okay. Now, have folks from the shelter got involved with this too, Wendy? That some of the
They have been
volunteers?
helping me a lot.
Is that right?
Yes, my Aunt Myrna Dacey, who's been a volunteer there for years, she's been helping me with the sessions, which
Okay.
has been phenomenal.
Because it's not easy to get dogs to sit for a photograph, right?
I
Yeah.
know, it's challenging.
Yeah.
It's like dogs and toddlers.
Right.
They're very similar in a lot of ways,
Yes.
but both are a lot of fun.
Sure.
But yeah, and some other have been coming in to help me, and just the availability, the promotion they've been doing, they've been fabulous.
Yeah. And the board as well has helped you as well? The board
Yeah.
of directors, yeah.
It's been great.
Has social media caught on?
We're working on
Okay.
it. I think that the shelter has a pretty good
They
sized
have a good base,
following,
yes, yeah.
and they've been really good about promoting it. So that's how I got most of my contestants was
Oh, really?
through them. Yeah, and they continue to promote it. So it's been
Okay.
going really well.
Now, the contestants, are they just from the area, or are they from all over? or-
They don't have to be from Quincy.
Okay.
So we do have some that are outside of Quincy. Most of them are from Quincy, though.
Okay.
Which is surprising. I was expecting to get like a little more of a widespread, but it's been great because I love Quincy. So it's been nice to have the Quincy folks participating.
So now all the spots are filled, though, right?
All the
too
spots
late
are filled.
to get your dog in.
It's too late,
Yeah.
but follow me along for next year because
Okay.
I already know I'm doing it next year.
There you go.
And it can get an earlier start next year because I'll
Nope.
be more prepared.
Okay. Give us a little preview of what types of dogs are
Oh
competing.
my gosh, you know what? We have not had any repeats.
Ah.
We've had so many breeds. We've had Basset Hounds, St. Bernard, Dalmatian, Black Lab, Golden Retriever, Puggles. Next week we have a Yorkie and Greyhounds.
Wow, okay.
I'm trying to think if I forgot any, and quite a few mixed breeds,
Sure.
and they all look different. So it's going to make for a really interesting voting bracket.
Now, have folks dressed them up like you dressed Daisy up?
They always have the ability to,
Okay.
but so far no one's had anything on their head.
Oh.
We've had a couple little bow ties.
Okay.
That's been it so far.
All ages of dogs, I'm assuming?
All ages. Yeah, we have some older dogs, we have some younger dogs. They're just such a big variety. Big dogs, small dogs.
Yeah. Puppies?
We haven't had
No
any
puppies?
little puppies. Not any little puppies.
that would really skew the voting, I would think.
It could possibly.
How could you not, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I know they are. They're so cute.
So again, how do folks participate? How do they vote? Because it's too late to enter. So
Yeah, so
you
in
have
order to vote, you just go to my website,
Okay.
and I will have all the instructions on the website. There's a landing page. When you go to my site, click on Pooch Playoffs.
Okay.
And I'm keeping it updated too, so there's been information up there all along.
Okay.
And when I have definite voting dates, everything will be listed there, and there'll be a link. They can just click on the link, and that will take them to the voting site.
Yep, and you can get through that through the shelter's
Yes.
website, or we've been putting your phone number up too, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So folks can give you
Yeah,
a call
absolutely.
if they have questions. Okay. Anything else we should let folks know about right now, Wendy?
Oh, I think that's about it. Just please vote,
Yes.
especially for the end one, the very last one. That's going to be high stakes.
national
I'm
competition.
competitive. Yeah, I
right?
want to win.
All right. All
I
right.
want our dog to win, and I have no idea who is going to win. They're all so adorable.
Yeah, it sounds like fun, and it's for a
Yeah.
great cause.
It is.
For the shelter.
Yeah, it's been a great time.
Thanks for coming by and sharing with us.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Hope we help get the word out for you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.